Hey everybody, the purpose of this video is to show you how to find the zeros of a polynomial using your graphing calculator. I know this question says to find both zeros and relative extrema, but I'm going to do the relative extrema in a different video. So in order to find the zeros on a graphing calculator, you need to graph the function first. So the first thing I'm going to do is enter the function. And to enter the function, I hit the y equals button, which is right here. And then I'm going to type the function in. So let's see, x cubed. There's the button to raise to a power. If you're not familiar with that, it's called caret key, C-A-R-A-T, minus 3x squared. And I'll just use the square button for that, minus 2x plus 3. All right. Now, once I get that entered, I'm going to graph this. Now, if your window is something strange like this one is for me, you can go ahead and get a normal window that goes from -10 to +10 on both the x and the y by hitting the zoom button and then 6. That's what zoom standard is, from -10 to +10 in both the x and the y. So there's my pretty little polynomial, and I'm going to find the zeros of this. Now, the first thing you need to know is that the calculator can only find the zeros one at a time. There's no command you can do, it'll find all three of them at once. So the command to find the zeros on a polynomial is under this calc menu up here. So to get to that, I'm going to hit the second key and then trace. That'll take me to this calc menu. See this nice command right here labeled 0? I'm going to choose it. Now, the calculator then asks you a series of questions. The first is left bound, and what that means is it wants the cursor to the left of the x-intercept you're trying to find. So to move that cursor, you move the arrow keys left or right. So I'm going to move this to the left until I'm past that x-intercept. That's good. So I'm going to hit enter. And then you'll see a little arrow appear up here. That's the x value that you marked. If you do something in Alex, you'll see something similar with two dotted green lines. That's how it marks the bound as opposed to what your calculator does, which is with these arrows. So I'm going to do the right bound, which means I need to move the cursor until it's to the right of that 0. That's good. I'm going to hit enter. Now, this guess thing, if you wanted to enter a guess that's a little bit closer to the x-intercept, you could. It speeds it up like a couple of milliseconds. It doesn't really make a difference in the calculation. So I just tend to ignore that and hit enter. And then the answer appears right here. So the 0 is the x-intercept. This would be -1.13 if we round it to the hundreds. Notice this y value is 0 here. Sometimes because your calculator uses an approximation method to find the zeros, instead of it giving you actually 0, it'll give you like a decimal that's super close to 0. So if you see something here that's in scientific notation times 10 to the negative like 24th, don't let that stress you out. It actually is a 0. It's just the calculator can't get exactly on 0, but your answer is way accurate enough, okay? So, or if I wanted to find the next 0 there, I would repeat the process, basically go back to the calc menu, do the 0 command, follow left bound, but this time the left bound needs to be to the left of this x-intercept, and then go to the right bound and move it to the right of this x-intercept, and then ignore the guess, and there's the second x-intercept. So you do that until you find all the x-intercepts. So in the next video, I'll show you how to find the relative extrema, and it's going to be very similar.